Hello, everyone. Welcome back, Jody.
Hi, Trudy. Happy Monday.
Yes, and here is Zing.
Hi,
Jane.
Sing.
Oh, you pronounce it so nicely. I even use Google and it says J and Ing.
Oh,
And
is it Zing or Jing? I've been saying Zing.
Jing. Oh, Jing sounds,
Jing.
yeah, Jing sounds good.
Jing.
Yeah,
Love it.
that is
All right.
ginger.
Jing
Yeah.
and Ginger are here with us today.
And
Okay.
I can, I can feel the energy so strongly. Strange. It's nice though.
Yeah. Which energy? The Raw Collective?
Yeah, yeah, rock collective. I can recognize their energy because it's very subtle and it makes me want to go into a nice place. Oh, here is swampy tree.
I feel
Yes.
like I haven't seen Swampy in a long time.
Yeah, so when I first started, it was swampy, encouraging me and always swampy. And then one day
Oh.
swampy disappeared. And so when I was very happy.
Yeah. Hi, Swampy. Hi, Jing.
Yeah. So what do you
So,
have to tell us today about, you know,
yeah. What is our topic today? I forget. Is it the solar
eclipse,
eclipses?
eclipse and and then the galactic messages from the galactic.
Oh, right. Okay. So April is going to be a huge month. I don't know how people are feeling about the um, full moon eclipse last night. Hi, Suki. The full moon eclipse that we had in New England early this morning from like midnight to 3 o'clock. But we are in for some very big changes. Yes, in the next year. I opened up the records before doing this for the poem, so I'm getting some downloads too. But so in the next year, but these next couple of months, particularly April, be kind to yourself and do as much clearing and shadow work as you can. And it will make it easier with all of the energy that's coming in, is the message that I'm getting. Which also makes sense why I got this poem or this instruction really for emotional flashbacks and working on your solar plexus. That is the message, or those are the two directives for if anyone is looking to what do I do? What do I do to ascend? The people that are going to listen to this need to work on their emotional flashbacks and their solar plexus. Is what they're saying.
So shadow.
Yes. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's just a confirmation. And I just looked at the time. It was 3:33. So let me read this then, because this is really clear. Hi, Osmanthus too. Feel like the gang, the posse is here. Okay. So, all right. So before I start this, because it's kind of truncate a little bit. Hi, Donna Marie. If you're having an emotional flashback, what is that? Basically, you're having an emotional flashback when you're like, it's not just anger, right? Like any uncomfortable feeling, it is always an emotional flashback, right? So if you say, how am I having an emotional flashback? If I'm just angry because it's this new thing, it is baked in our body. And it means that we have just been triggered by that most recent event. So anything that triggers you, feeling like you have to defend yourself, whether you want to attack someone else, whether you're hurt, whether any uncomfortable feeling inherently is an emotional flashback, right? So what is that emotional feeling? I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling all of these things. I don't know what I'm feeling, but it's really uncomfortable. So you can just say, I'm uncomfortable. Or feeling not like myself. I'm hearing somebody will say, this doesn't feel like myself. It's an emotional flashback. It's triggering something in your body that you have felt before. And it's like you're right back in there. So this is what they say to do. Saying it out loud, no need for self-judgment, and certainly no need for self-scorn. When feelings overwhelm us and we feel cold and worn, like an old piece or a garment hanging around on the floor, sweep it up or pick it up, this feeling you hide, the one in your thoughts that gets looped in the mind. Brush it off and shout it out with words and a full body shake. Don't allow it any room or allow it to bake. Into your structure, into your core, the time has come to release. No encore. Remember this coup that will release this thing. Recognize, address, integrate, and release. Will work if you try it. So please speak this. And they're giving you literally the format to copy and use. Go away. Get off me now. You belong in the past, not with me now. Not where I'm heading, for what my soul seeks belongs not with such sentiments. We are all meant to be free. So for one and for all, release such now. To leave my spirit whole is my solemn vow. Like that is like the an exorcism or something. They're saying,
Yeah.
like, and somebody's got to like that prayer maybe priests use or whatever. Like this is your incantation, is what they're saying. Incantation.
So to release, we have to look at it, study it, know it for what it is, and then for me, I work with it and then integrate it. That's what I like. I was very taken with Jordan Peterson. He said, you remember last time I was talking about
Yes.
him, let the
Yes.
bad guy out to play. You don't
Yes.
hide the bad guy. If you think it's a bad guy, let it out to play. And
Yes.
then when you integrate it, it becomes your strength. Whereas if you don't, it can wreak havoc. Because when
Yes.
it's like an enemy inside, if we don't acknowledge it and we don't know the presence, then when
Yeah.
we least expect it, it might pop its head and then we burst out in public or a little trigger and then we blow up.
It just
And
gets worse and worse.
yeah, and the person doesn't even know what is happening or why we are doing that. Well, it's a trigger.
Yeah. And so they're giving me this image of a top, right? The old game wears a top. And so like there's a cord and it's wrapping around, wrapping around, wrapping around. And then you put it out like a yo-yo top thing and it
Yeah.
just spins all around. Like that is just wrapping all around you. And then that thing doesn't know where it's going. It has no direction, but it's just out there firing
Yeah.
away.
When
I love that.
when I left the monastery, I just knew what to do to heal myself. Something just told me, let out the poison. So lay out. And I had a spiritual director who is uh astronomer, you know, a
Oh,
Jesuit astronomer. So I will let it out to him, all that poison, all that negativity, the hate,
yeah.
the anger, resentment, letters after letters. And I apologized. And he said, it's okay. I know it's not directed to me. But that was my healing and
Yeah.
letting out the poison. So that's
And
why
now you're letting other people, you're doing that for other people.
oh, really, I don't know. I just shared what I
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Jordan is telling me that, I'm a teacher and you told me that and Rachel told me that. And my response is, so I told my spirit team, okay, if that is true, make it happen. you don't give me clear downloads or things like that. How do you, and I don't know anything to teach. So how do you expect me to teach?
No, you are a teacher, a natural teacher. You are the knowledge and your energy like exude out. You are imbued with knowledge and you want to share and communicate knowledge and ideas. And your ego is not in there at all, right?
You can feel
You,
that.
yes, yes. You are a seeker, and seekers find. And then once you find, you want to share that information, right? You
Yeah.
are not a gatekeeper and you're doing what you love. So they don't need to tell you, do this, do that. They're telling you, do what you love. And you love to talk to people, a certain number of people, a certain number of times a week, you know? And that works for you. And you are teaching people on your platform. You're leading by example, is what you're doing.
I find that, when I channel is spiritual messages, what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And so that's mainly what I do. I don't go into very intricate things or, all that kind of thing. Yes, it's just simple spirituality.
I wouldn't call them simple. I would call them pure.
Oh, yeah, that is a better term for it. Yes, because
Yes.
pure is, when, yeah, in one of my channeling, it says, yeah, it says that as we get closer to the infinite creator, to the divine source, we become simpler because the divine source is simplicity itself. And then we
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
purer because, we reach closer to that divine light.
Yeah. I mean, they're very clear about the words that we use
Yeah, yeah.
when we,
Sometimes,
so
yes, they will correct us.
yeah. So like if you're saying that your poems are simple, you're telling them they're giving you simple information. Like, would you ever say that to them? You give me simple messages, right?
Yeah.
So why would you say that to yourself? Oh, my messages are simple. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Well, simple in the sense, like you say, pure, easy to understand, easy. It's just like,
back to basics.
yeah, without all the clutter.
Mm,
Yeah, sometimes when I channel them,
yeah.
they will tell me clear all the clutter. Just stick to the basic information that comes through because life is very simple. Spirituality can be very simple, but we make it complicated, complex by our thinking and all these other trimmings.
Yeah. By our shadows.
And
Yeah. By our shadows, by our experiences that, made us and broke us, and sometimes both, right? But it feels like we are here to lead by example and we had to go through the fire like we talk about all the time. And our messages are simple, but how long did it take us to get here? And I have to remind myself of that a lot. Like, I'm like, all right, we're talking about emotional flashbacks again. Like, we covered this. Like, are we talking about recognize, address, integrate, release again? Yes. Why? Because we have to do it over and over and over and over again. But as you and I go along, we need it less and less. But it's just like a skill when you're learning how to ride a bicycle. At first you're falling off, you need to get the band-aids, you need to go whatever. And later on, you fall every once in a while when you go over a jump or you're on rough terrain or, you know, whatever. But they're always helpful
yeah,
messages. Always. it feels
So
like.
yeah, you were going to share. I think a few sessions back, you were going to share about Mary Magdalene because you are so much into Mary Magdalene. So one of the viewers asked me, what is this about Mary Magdalene?
So I would love to talk about Mary Magdalene and, uh, well, I can talk about what she was teaching really about the seven egos, or it feels like more interesting. It feels like more viewers would be interested in what her role actually was.
Or
And
how you come? What brought you to Mary Magdalene?
okay, I'm spicy, right? I am fiery, spicy. I've never been, not that I haven't been connected with Mother Mary, but I have chosen to have a lot of experiences in this life in a way, in ways that were exciting, possibly self-sabotaging, risky is what they're telling me, risky. That's not Mother Mary's energy. That's Mary Magdalene's power and the demons she had to fight, right? Mother Mary, we don't talk about her having to go through stuff, although I'm sure she did. That's not her energy
Yeah.
that we feel, right? So I never really connected with that. It felt very much like almost utopia or unbelievable. Like I couldn't connect with that. I could ask for things, please help me, my, mother up there. But Mary Magdalene, like that was a story I could get behind. It's like, yeah, I can get with that. And that was the false story of her being a prostitute,
Yes.
of her being needing to drive out the demons and all of that stuff. But it it resonated with me nonetheless, even when I thought that. I was like, okay, I'm a sinner. I needed help. There was the connection. And when I started channeling like the Holy Family and Yeshua, Metatron, um, I don't know if I recognized her. Okay, here's when it came. They're giving me, I didn't recognize her energy and I didn't recognize her name. I was going with the big ones that I could recognize because I didn't know any of the other people and they didn't give me names as much. I went to the bookstore to get travel brochures and books for my upcoming trip. Instead, I bought Mary Magdalene's book by Megan Watterson. And that just spoke to me. The whole thing is like my resource book on what her gospels say, what her teachings were, what her path was, and her energy. So I didn't go there to get a book on Mary Magdalene. I didn't know that there was such a thing. I certainly wasn't looking for it, right? So that was the gift, and how spirit will just put something right in your path, you know? So when I
Yeah.
connected to that energy, then the three M's would come in. A lot of threes, the Holy Trinity, the three M's.
That's why they say there is no accident and no coincidence. Spirit does do that.
Yes. So orchestrated. So orchestrated. Yeah. I, okay. I thought you were on
Yeah.
mute for a minute.
Oh no. Yeah, I just mute it. I get so used to muting it. Sometimes I wanted to clear my throat in public, and I want to mute it. Of course, you can't mute it. Become such a habit, Yeah. So you're right because I have this image of Mary Magdalene as the sinner, because that was what we were taught. the prostitute that
Yeah.
Jesus took compassion on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he was,
And like psychotic,
uh,
she was, having to pull demons out of her and stuff. And like, we all have demons now. I get it now,
yeah,
but, and when you think of why do we need that extreme lesson? I think that that served a purpose for a time that we thought of her or somebody else. We needed the lesson that male or female, no matter what you do, you are going to be forgiven. You already are.
yeah.
So
Talking
that part
about
was good.
talking
Mm-hmm.
about letting the demons out. It
Yeah.
is very healing sometimes because I remember I was going through some things at the monastery, and I just endure it, push it under. You want to suffer like the same. And one day it just erupted. I found myself screaming from nowhere. I found myself screaming at the top of my lung. It
Yeah.
frightened the nuns who was around as much as it frightened me.
Yeah.
But you
But
know,
that's reactive abuse sometimes.
ah, yeah. So that was healing. So when you talk about the demon, I thought, yeah, that kind of demon, when you push everything inside so much that when it erupts, it simply erupts.
Yeah. And for so long, we can trick ourselves into thinking, like, I'm keeping it all together. Look I've got a smile on my
Yeah,
face. And
yeah,
meanwhile, you're like, it's like this a corset just pulling you, or like, a
yeah,
boomerang ready to pop right out, They're giving me an image of a cooler and like just letting out the water, let the water trickle out from the bottom is an easier way to do it,
yeah,
and releasing that water instead of having like a full pitcher of water on an unsteady table. And it's just gonna, yeah, if we can control a little bit,
yeah. I'm
control the
just
flow a little
I'm
bit.
just going to share something completely off
Okay.
topic, but
Yeah.
only to show how I wrote something this morning. Is all in the attitude. Again, I was at Costco in line, and then suddenly a woman came behind me with a cart, and she put, instead of staying behind me, she put her cart right next to mine. And I
Okay.
thought, that is interesting. I, in the in the past, I could be really fierce. I would never let anyone get in front of me. I might glare at her or just let her know. And I
Yeah.
said, well, I can just let her get in front. But I got curious and I wanted to see what she would do.
Yes.
Push my cart out 1 inch to show her I am ahead. I can
Yeah.
first. She pushed her cart out,
No.
made that message. So I say, okay. So I become really intrigued by now. So I said,
Yes. Like,
okay,
ooh, what are you doing?
I'll see what she does. The door opened, and guess what? She
What?
managed to get in front of me.
No.
She did. I found myself laughing.
People are shocking.
But I found myself laughing because it's not easy to get in front of me. But you see, I have to follow. I
She
have
was
to go.
committed.
I have to go behind this man because I can't go around him. That will be breaking the queue. But she didn't care about me, so she sneaked into the side and she went in.
Like,
But I found it amusing. So as I said, as we get on this path,
yeah,
what can get us very upset at one time or very mad, we
yeah.
can look at it with a sense of humor and play with it. I was playing with her essentially.
Yes. And I do get curious too. And now I'm like you said, you're like, this is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
You know? Like,
And then I asked myself what makes her think she has the right to get ahead of me when she comes
right,
behind later than me.
right,
But
right.
in her mind, I think in her mind she said, "Oh, this this
Yeah. Like,
Asian woman, this immigrant from some place, I have the right. She has no
yeah.
right to this country. I have the right to this country." I later I asked myself, why would
True,
she
true,
think she
true.
has the right to do that? And then I realized, it's probably that.
And there are some, you know, we don't know why she did what she did, but we see this
Yeah.
behavior normalized, very normalized, right? And so there are people that will trigger us intentionally,
Yes.
right? Um, and they're saying haphazardly sometimes, but the effect is the same, whether they're doing it intentionally or haphazardly. If you had turned around and started yelling at her,
Yeah.
then everyone is looking at you.
Yes.
Everyone is looking at you. And then that is how people get in trouble for reacting. And that's why they call it reactive abuse, is because you are reacting to this terrible abuse, but you're the one that is whatever. And then the abuser, or even this woman would be like, "Huh, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was, or I
Yes.
was here
You're right.
first." Or like, how many times have we seen it in our life? And they're so good, these people that
Actually,
do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
even here, I think, even with
Yeah.
the angels of love and light, with the saints, and but yeah, is that attitude? Oh, so I recently I understood what Jesus meant by offering the other cheek. He is not saying literally to offer the other cheek, but in
Mhm.
this sense of not reacting. If someone slap you on one
Yeah.
cheek, and you return it with that love, that kindness, and not reacting, that is his
Interesting.
message. I got
Yeah, I wonder about the translation with that. I wonder what the actual
that.
translation is, like,
And
so good.
when we look
Yeah,
back, you know, when we are able to adopt this attitude, we are above and ahead. I mean, what do we lose?
yeah,
That person might think she
right.
win, but I won. I was the winner in that situation. She
Yeah,
lose. And in
yeah,
our everyday life, at our workplace
yeah.
and daily living, we come across people like that. And then when we just
You're so
laugh it
right.
off, find the
It
humor
honestly, it
on.
feels superhuman to be able to do that, doesn't it? Like, at this point, it feels like it's a superhuman
Yes, I,
superpower.
I, I could do it now, but
Yeah,
there was a time I couldn't do it. I would get so mad. This,
yeah,
just because I'm Asian, and that kind of I would, and I have
yeah,
done that. I got slighted at a doctor's office, and I get so angry. I couldn't rest until I called them, and
yeah,
let them
yeah,
know. But
yeah.
now, it's just there are more important things. With the Earth ascending to fourth density, there are more important things. So these little things, I slap it off. But the main thing
You're
is, it's
right.
all
You're
in the
right.
attitude, and we are the winner.
Mhm. We are. Yeah, we are the winner, you
Yeah.
know?
And
It's
in
so
life,
fun.
it's so funny because in life we can get caught up with this loser and winner. And when you think somebody best
Yes.
you, it
Yeah.
gives a very bad feeling, and you want to best them, and then there comes that big conflict.
Yeah, and it's really just triggering
Yeah,
that not good enough feeling. It
yeah,
always comes down to a not good enough feeling, and it always comes down to something that you experienced, and you just keep triggering it and triggering it, like, crows, or not falcons, what are the birds? Vultures.
yes,
Like
well,
vultures picking at a dead animal. That's what we're doing to ourselves.
yeah,
There was one wound in that dead animal, and we are torturing it. We are just massacring it. We're doing that to ourselves, and we
yeah,
don't even realize it. So when people say, um, triggers are our trainers, that's like a meme out there, that a helpful meme it's supposed to be. um, but they really are, if we can be in a space where we can be an observer for our triggers. We have to start with the small ones, like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not a lady at Costco or something, you know? Like, but yeah, oh, I haven't been to the supermarket in a long time. Thank you. Thank you, God.
I
But
think that's the second one at Costco. I have to, you know,
yeah.
that's the second one because one was when I asked, we always form two lines. I asked the one in front, could we form two lines? She said, no, wouldn't even look at me. you know?
Yeah. And then you think, like, wow, that must be, I don't want to change places with that person
Yes. I,
ever.
but
No.
when,
Yeah.
in a way, you can find it funny in things sometimes in life. In a
Yeah.
way, it's tough when you come across someone so without any humor. It's almost unreal
Oh,
that you can come across someone so negative. That was how her whole, she wouldn't look at me and anything. And she was just,
like a
so
shell, like a
yeah,
shell.
like
Right.
unreal that anyone can be so without any sense of humor or that was just what I get that feeling.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have to think like we don't know what she has going on
Yes.
in her life. She could have a dying spouse, or, you know, like,
Yeah.
who knows? It's not about us, really.
Yes. And who knows?
Even if it is because you're Asian,
Yeah.
right?
There was a time when there was a woman, a friend that my late husband befriended. There was every reason why I should like her, but I just couldn't stand her. And then I realized much later, you know, it must be something in another lifetime. I didn't know her, and
Oh,
she was
maybe.
very nice, but
Maybe.
I couldn't understand it. And even at the time when I didn't know about all this, I thought, in another lifetime, we must have crossed. And it's very possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be, but you didn't have very many lifetimes. But I was thinking about today, like your lifetime as a tree. And I had a lifetime as a tree too. I
Yeah,
remember the past life regression. I was like, there's a big tree. It's at like a perpendicular road, not a four-way, just across. And I'm there. And I think I'm the tree. It was just so bizarre to have that feeling. Like, it felt like I was there. I was the tree. And there was a feeling to it.
well, Ra said we start from no escaping from that, from first density. So stones, and the fourth thing, the air, fire, and then we move up to second density, three,
Mm.
four, dog. So he told me I was a dog at one time. That's why
Oh,
I connect with dogs so much.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So there's a channel that I watch. I know it's connected to Lady of the Forest 444. If anyone watches her, I absolutely adore her. And she gives angel messages, and she talks a lot about the shift that's coming, and just is beautiful energy. But on this other channel, they talk about Earth's history. And I didn't realize, but it made so much sense about how I felt as the tree. Like, I was watching over everything. I didn't have to move. I wasn't doing anything. I was right there, but I was so in tune to everything that was going on around me. And I was like, it kind of felt like a lifeguard, and you're like just looking around, making sure that's how it felt. And an explanation that they give that made sense to me was, before the humans were on the planet, the trees and everything, all of the forms of life other than human were
yeah,
preparing the earth for humans. And it made sense to me, not just that I was looking and surveying, is there they're giving me that word. I was surveying the land, not just making sure something didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like a lifeguard making sure if someone's in trouble, I go get them, making sure that everything was being prepared. And whatever, I'm going to look up surveying. That's another word. I have to get the exact definition because surveying. Doesn't that make sense that you would have that life too?
Yeah.
One of your very few lives, and then come back you're there at the beginning and at the end of 3D.
I never think of my life being tree or dog. The
Right.
real life, I always thought of it as I know I think in the QHHT, I was
Mm-hmm.
a Buddhist monk once, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
this woman. Yeah, with healing, and that's why I think in this lifetime I was told I don't like to do healing because I got persecuted for it in another lifetime.
Yeah. And probably as a teacher too. And you're like, I don't teach. Because,
No,
yeah,
no,
in those lifetimes, you're like, everything was a secret.
no, I don't.
Everything was a secret.
I don't teach because I am not systematic like Ali. She's professor. I have a
Right.
sister who will love. You know what she's doing? She's
What?
a geriatric, and her whole passion is to conduct seminar and retreat, meditation, seminar, retreat, meditation. I
Oh,
thought, oh, if I had,
bless her heart.
if
Yeah.
she's just sitting, I thought if I had that, it would be great. It's just so,
You
I,
would want to do that? Oh my God. Let's
no,
manifest that, Trudy.
no, that's why I say I don't want that. It's too much work. Yeah. Oh, so I interrupted you.
Yeah.
So what about Mary
Oh, what's this?
Magdalene? You were
Okay.
saying the what seven what?
Okay. So this is another part of the shadow work
Yeah,
is what she was doing was the seven things are darkness, the seven egos. Did I write? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I got 6 written down in front of me. Um, darkness, clinging, ignorance, excess, forgetting your spirit, and then forgetting your body. So starting with darkness is basically that negativity and depression. You can get stuck in darkness and not see the light. Now we need to be in the darkness to see the light for how bright it is, right? And we all know that lesson by now. But so that's the first one. The second one is clinging, attachments. And you and I have talked so much about this, like not being attached. And that also means not being attached to other people's opinions of us. None of our business what that lady thinks of us, right?
yeah,
Um, and so clinging to things, clinging to money. And it's not saying that money isn't important, that things aren't important. Do what you love, have things that you love, be where you love, not to cling onto it. So when uh, Mary Magdalene said, or when Mary Magdalene saw Jesus and he said, "Don't touch me," right? After, when she saw him for the resurrection, she was the first person to see him.
yeah,
And he said, "Don't touch me." What the translation actually is or was don't cling to me.
yeah,
Remember he said I am not ascended yet or something like that. I forget how it
yeah,
is exactly in the Bible, but he said I am not ascended yet. Don't touch, you can't touch me. Don't cling to me because I am not here in the physical. I am with you in spirit. But if you keep clinging to me, you'll never really live. And he reminded her of that. Keep going. Right? That was a big one for Mary. Um, ignorance, it's like ignorance, sloth, like not caring, not seeking, being just like dull, kind of. Um, that's another one. And then excess. We all know about excess. Anything that's the opposite of ignorance, right? And excess, anything that excess is never good. When, you know, if I meditate 7 hours a day or something, for me, that's excess. I don't need to do that. That's a trauma response. you know, um, for someone else, that might be their standard, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they need to do, 7. But for me, that would be excess. Whatever the excess is for you. Forgetting your spirit is forgetting that you have a soul. You're not just, don't worry about just your physical, your body, um, idolizing this meat suit, right? We want to respect it and we want to honor it, but we can't forget the spirit inside. We don't want to be a shell
Yeah.
energy, you know? And then the opposite of that is ignoring your body and only being spirit. So, like, if I'm meditating 7 hours a day, I'm maybe not getting sunlight because I'm not going outside. I'm not exercising. I am not, so you have to balance those things. Um, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's why they keep reminding us to get grounded.
yes. And to ground is not just for our body, but it's for the energetic frequency of the earth as well.
Ah.
You're like, "Argh." So
Well,
hot out there, right?
yeah. Well, it's nice now, but before
Yeah.
when the Ra would tell me to ground by going out into the sun, and I say, yeah, right. We Chinese, we don't like the sun.
I remember that. You're like, it's too hot. I'm like, okay, well, just imagine it while you're sitting at your desk. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I
That was
forgot.
so funny.
I know. And yeah, they were ask through you, they were still reminding me to ground
Yes.
myself. And
Yeah.
only recently I realized the importance of that.
Yeah.
Before
Me
that,
too.
I thought,
Me
what's
too.
wrong with living? They say your crown chakra is wide open. It might be
Yeah.
great for someone, but for you, it's not good because it's just completely open and you
Yeah.
need to ground yourself. And I said, oh, but it's so
Yeah.
nice to live in the other
I know
world.
what I want to stay here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I never pay attention. I never listen to them. I just say, I just love being living in the other side. And I
Yeah. Yeah.
think recently I realized that, for instance, ego, protecting against ego. We have
Mhm.
to ground ourselves to protect
Oh,
against
yeah.
the ego. Because so they gave me these 3 words: grounded, centered, humble. When we are grounded, we are centered.
Mm.
When we are centered, we are humble. So when we are not
I like
grounded,
that so much. Yeah.
then the ego can say, "Oh, I am up here," and I'm a sage. I'm like a sage. I'm like one of those, Indian gurus, and then you get completely out and you lose touch with reality. It's okay if you live like a hermit, but when you
Mhm.
have to deal with day-to-day living, and
Yeah, if you can live like a hermit and everything, food
yeah,
is brought to you and your yard is kept and someone's walking your dogs and all that stuff, then, go for it, I suppose. But
yeah,
they just gave me an image of somebody flying off with a balloon. That's you and I. Like, come back down.
yeah,
But
Karen doll, yeah, good, great to see you here.
oh my goodness.
I
Yeah.
didn't, I didn't realize Mary Magdalene has all that kind of teaching.
Oh yeah. She was right there with Jesus.
Yeah.
And I try to say all the time, like people harp on and are very worried about like whether she and Jesus were partners, whether they were married or whatever. They were absolutely partners in the masculine and the feminine
Yeah.
branches of, and they came together and formed a whole. They really were um, twin flames and soulmates. And she was out there working just like he was together. In fact, they were paired up, male and female, for quite a time.
And of course, the church don't want us to know that, so they never
Nope.
show that part of it.
No, the Essenes were very balanced. Essenes, the Egyptians, Rosicrucians, Zoroastrianisms, uh, the cult of Mithras or Mithra, Ahura Mazda, like all of these ancient religions that we're learning about. I don't know. I feel like they had it all together. Like we're coming back to those now because they weren't so, they're not so archaic. They're telling me that they passed the test of time. I
Yeah.
think. So if anyone wants to look up, and even, hi, Karen, never late, baby, right on
Yeah.
time, right
No.
on time. When it says the cult of Mithras, cult is the root of culture, right?
Ah,
So
yeah.
they called it the cult of Mithras. And, lots of sun gods and moon references. And they were so adept at reading the stars and alignments and knowledge of the geometry, geomancy, healing, tapping into the frequencies, Earth's ley lines, like, yeah. So I read a lot about that. So Mary and Jesus and Mary and Martha and Lazarus and John the Baptist, all of them, I believe, based on my research and what they confirmed to me, is they were teaching basically what you do and lead by example, is going inside, working on your shadow work, learning, and then sharing that knowledge of what you learn to whoever wants it. If they don't want it, that's fine. But those who
Yeah.
want it will find you. How many people have found you, Trudy?
Oh, I'm reaching 990.
I wish I
Well,
had more. Oh
no,
my
for
goodness.
me, it was because I jumped on Kevin Moore and then Jeff Mara. And those
Oh,
two shook me up, way up. And that
yeah.
was when I thought, oh, if I get on next level soul, I will be 1,000 over. And then they cut,
Yeah.
they cut it at the last minute. The day before,
Mm.
they cut. I had this big plants and I put everything into that basket for 4 months. And I kept thinking, I could imagine if they were to cancel, and the day before they canceled. And all I felt was
So
peaceful.
strange.
Well, because of my situation.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
and all I felt was peace. And then I say, okay, I get a message from Spirit. They help me up there, and then they say, you know, they cut, they say, okay, slow down.
Mm.
We don't want you. Because what will happen
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
got on and then I
Yeah.
jump over 1,000 over, and my head will probably be swollen, and the ego will come in. The ego will come in. I say ego.
Yeah.
The ego will
I,
come in, and
I'm
yeah,
getting that that's not what would have happened.
yeah, really.
No, I'm getting, they're saying that you wouldn't have enjoyed it the way you are now.
Ah,
That it would have come too fast. They're saying too fast and too
yes,
furious,
too fast.
and that you wouldn't have enjoyed it. That your ego, you will always be working on your ego. That will not be a problem for you.
Yeah,
Your own expectations. they're trying to give me a word, but your own expectations and feeling the need to perform, it would have turned into something performative. I found you on Jeff.
And you found me on Jeff Barra. That is what I love about the
I've done
regular
that.
our my group little group here. Yeah, it's those from Kevin Moore, Jeff Mara, and Jordan Cockburn.
How come I haven't seen Kevin Moore lately?
Kevin Moore, oh yeah, he is.
Is he
Yeah,
still around?
yeah, he is.
Doing new stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
I
He
wonder if
said
I
he was
like,
going to move it. Kevin Kevin Moore, he has the International Spiritual News Network.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he
He's
changed.
moving to a new platform.
Kevin changed.
Yes.
Yeah, he international ISN.
Yes. I love him. I
Yeah,
love him. Yeah, he's got his British accent.
yes.
Yeah.
So what about some cards from Mary Magdalene? Or do you? Oh my God!
Is this your baby? Yeah. Does anybody I don't have Magdalene cards, but I have the Hermetic Tarot cards.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
So why don't you give me a reading? Can I get a
Are you?
reading? I'm so bad. I was
I,
asking for a
I
reading
can
for.
use both.
Yeah, I was saying, a reading for
The collective
yeah.
and for
So
you.
yeah. Oh, and then I sneaking never mind, just call Karen Doe. He is the one that got me into this stuff, Kevin Moore, in 2017. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I will let him know. Yeah. Donna Marie asks, cute dog, what breed is it? Really cute.
This is really interesting.
You know, you are so good at reading. You should do more of these mini readings. That is how people know you are so good at reading.
I suppose I'm nowhere near anything like Claudia. She's got like super duper gifts, but I am a lot more than a tarot
Yeah.
reader. I'm an intuitive reader that the spirits talk to me for sure. Um,
Oh, yeah.
she wants to she
So
wants to leave the room.
no, I was asking for a collective reading only because, see, I am going to get into trouble. You have two people asking for reading now.
Sure,
Oh,
yeah. So this one is for you, Trudy, and this is the Fool
okay.
card in the Hermetic Tarot.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the spirit of ether and the foolish man. And it's basically take a risk. Yeah. Take a risk. Take a risk. Look at that sun. And I want to see what this symbol is because that's so clear. Like, right? I think it's air, fire, water. Because that's definitely whatever that is, that's for you too. Give me just 1 second. All right, I'll have to look it up. Earth, air, sulfur. All right, I'll have to look up what that symbol is because it's for you. I'll get back. I'll text you.
Okay.
So that is for you. And the collective, I'm getting 6 of Cups. And the 6 of Cups, this is for everyone who's here.
Yes.
Everyone who is here and watching right here. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful card and all of those symbols. And I believe that this one's coming from Mary Magdalene. This is not a Mary Magdalene. I think that's Mercury or Mars,
Yeah.
but it's MM, and that's Mary Magdalene. So it feels very much like osmanthus. Um, yeah. And look at the balance here and here, balancing the scales, the water.
Yeah.
This is saying to me, it's so much, so much. This is just confirmation. It's so much like the Fool. What it's saying is if you want to grow something in your life, see, that's a plant, you need to do it. Do it. Take the risk, do it, and you will get double. You will get double what you want. Now is the time to manifest. In I just heard there's no time to waste. No time to waste.
Yeah. So
Start
all
manifesting.
yeah, I remember I was manifesting for 1,000 subscribers, and my spirit team said no, 2,000. That was interesting, and that's what
That's
your
awesome.
yeah.
I
So
love that.
uh,
Yeah, and three of pentacles. Here's another one.
yeah,
Um, look at those flowers growing too.
yeah,
And this is about collaboration. Like, don't think that you have to do it yourself. But three of pentacles, and then it says Lord of material
work,
material work. Whatever you want to manifest, you will get. You will get. It fills up, these three things fill up the entire card.
yeah,
And 3, 6, 0, 3, and 6 were the numbers that we got with this. All right. So I think, Trudy, that's a message for you. Just
okay,
spread out. I need to see a message from Mary Magdalene. I'm hearing healing right away. That she doesn't want to give you a card. She wants to give you healing. I just heard you don't need no card. And she wants me to clarify that she's not saying you don't need a card, that she doesn't want to give you a card, just that you are so protected. You are so protected, and you are looking for guidance that you have within yourself already. But that they don't mind giving signs, synchronicities, clarifications. Abundance. Belief. Yeah. Working on, okay, so what she's saying, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but what she is saying is you're not all in the belief. And this is in specific regard to manifestation, something that you're working on, and possibly it's the healing that you're working on, that you might not believe that it can happen. You can't just manifest healing, that it's harder than you think, that it will be, you'll be lucky if it ever comes. And she's saying you just need the belief. That's what she's saying. Yeah. So see this woman? She doesn't look sure of herself. She does not look sure of herself. But she has the Sacred Heart, and she's got that halo. Look at that golden protection around her. And they're looking at her She's got all that power and doesn't know it. None of these guys do. None of these guys have a halo. None of them have the Sacred Heart. Yeah. She's saying believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, believe in her until you believe in yourself.
That's
That's the message. That's the healing. Yeah.
that's a beautiful card,
Yeah.
Donna Marie.
Yeah. 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 All right. What is your question, Donna? And that will be the last one.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my dog outside. Donna, give me a question and I will do it. I'll do this Star Tarot for Donna.
Oh, Karen, I think that reading I think that reading helped me too. Yeah.
Oh,
Donna,
okay.
what is in my future? What do I need?
What does the universe want you to know right now? That kind of thing. Ha 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 ha. Everything is going to be fine.
10 of Pentacles.
Like, are you serious? What's in my future? It's interesting because this is pentacles, but the pentacles are actually hearts, right? They're not coins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like fairies and butterflies? Very feminine card. I'm just looking at the beautiful, proud roses and hearts, and just like this is love. It's supposed to be pentacles.
Yeah, she said,
Absolutely love butterflies at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. And fairies and butterflies. Those butterflies are sent to you as confirmation. Like, just, you're fine. You're going to be fine. I mean, what's your future? And this comes out? I don't know. That. And then the next one is, all right, so here's your confirmation. Very significant for you at the moment. Good. That's the way it works too. And then the Six of Wands is the ultimate victory card. You know, you've got that star. Look at that. Look at that star. Yeah. Magical. Magical, magical, magical. Did you see that? Yeah. So anyway, there we go. I'm so happy to give that message.
yeah.
Those are the ones I like to give. Yeah.
And it's been an hour. Yeah, so tomorrow I have Claudia.
Oh, yes.
2 p.m. EST.
Okay. Are you guys chit-chatting, or is she doing free readings again? Because that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we will probably chat the first half hour because she has so much knowledge.
She really does.
Discuss different things, and then then she'll do reading. Yeah, Karen Doe. Wow, Jody.
Yeah, so beautiful. So beautiful. So, all right, next time we'll have to start that. You always blow me. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. I do trust my guides to give the good.
Yeah, and here also. Your
So
energy
energy is
is
high
high
vibe.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while, but finally we're here. All right.
Oh, okay. So,
I'll see you next week, Trudy.
okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
being here.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out, commenting, all
Yeah.
of it.